We're here at Bethel, Maine, with a group of interested people talking about social change, social action. And we are trying to organize a group aligned with NTL that stops doing enterprises, running labs, but looks at action learning and research, and we've tried to involve outsiders as well. And what I'm curious about is, how did this all start? What happened here at Bethel? Let me start with that.
Well, I'd go back just a little behind Bethel. I don't know how many people here know that it was out of the movement toward civil rights and against discrimination that this NTL emerged eventually. And Connecticut, the state of Connecticut, passed an anti-discrimination law which applied to employment, education, and public accommodations, forbidding discrimination on the basis of race or sex or whatever. And they established a state interracial commission. And Frank Simpson, a black man from Alabama originally, came to head the state interracial commission. And he believed that a law was not effective unless people knew of their rights under the law and knew how to claim those rights and exercise them. So he came to MIT, the Research Center for Group Dynamics. He knew of Kurt Lewin there, and wanted him to run a conference or help organize a conference to inform people of their new empowerment and of what actions they might take in their various communities or towns of Connecticut to fulfill those rights to which they were now entitled. Kurt said if he could do research, he would accept that assignment. He had some money from Office of Naval Research, I think, to do research on conference process. So I think one of the most interesting books on community action that was ever written came out of that, but it wasn't noticed. Ron Lippert wrote it, Training in Community Relations, and it's a full account of that. It's there where the idea of the training group and of NTL emerged. So we came out of a social action background, and incidentally, the research. I'll mention the research because they recruited people from different towns in Connecticut, some as teams and some as individuals. And the prediction was that those with teams, who came in teams and went through the workshop in teams, would actually apply more because they would have a support group back home to empower them to take action at home than with the isolates. And it was fully borne out because they took learnings from the workshop. We weren't using T-group process, but we did using a lot of sociodrama and discussion, planning skills, problem-solving skills. But in the evening, we got together to talk about what had happened in the day. And there were some people who couldn't go home and were staying in the dormitories of New Britain College there. And they asked if they could come to that meeting in which the staff, which was Ron and Lee Radford and I, and three associates, Murray Horowitz and Neff Seaman and Mort Deutsch were the three associates, and Kurt. And we were meeting every evening, and we said, yes, you can come in. So there we were talking about what had happened to them during the day, and they would speak in and say, no, it wasn't like that. I was thinking this, and I was feeling that, and he did this, and so pretty soon that was the most heavily attended meeting of the day, every evening. And it was there we got the idea of making people's own behavior and interactions in a group the main subject matter of the principal subject matter of a laboratory, as we call it.